presenting CAPEX 1's perspective for implementing artificial intelligence within the organization. Our approach begins with a structured understanding of how knowledge flows, from data to information and then to decision making. We anchor understanding in what is commonly known as the knowledge management pyramid. This knowledge management pyramid can be represented with multiple layers, but we've intentionally chosen to distill the model into 3 core layers. These layers reflect the practical realities of most organizations and the processes and functions that move the organizations forward. We view all organizations as knowledge management institutions. Regardless of industry size and geography, organizations exist to transform inputs into outputs through structured processes and functions. Within a 3-layer pyramid, we allocate nearly all organizational activities into one of the 3 layers, namely repeatability, intuition, and innovation. The first layer of our pyramid is repeatability. This represents what organizations constantly do. It includes what they produce, deliver, and process. Repeatability forms the operational backbone of any institution. It becomes a basis for KPIs, service standards, compliance frameworks, and standard operating procedures. This layer is process-driven, measurable, and governed by clearly defined inputs and expected outputs. It is where operational excellence is built and where most structured data originates. The second layer is intuition. This layer is supported by the first. Intuition refers to the ability to understand something instinctively. Within organizations, context and intuitions are not accidental. These are developed through repetitive exposure to patterns, outcomes, and structured processes. When repeatability is executed constantly, patterns emerge, and over time, these patterns strengthen and form cognitive connections within individuals and systems. If the first layer defines what ingredients are required and in what quantities, the second layer defines how and why those ingredients are used. Intuition transforms structured repetition into contextual understanding. The third layer of our pyramid is innovation. This is where organizations differentiate themselves and gain a competitive advantage. Innovation is supported by intuition, just as intuition is supported by repeatability. Organizations innovate on what they intuitively understand. Innovation is rarely random, it is an iterative process. The process of innovation relies on cycles of testing, learning, refinement, and replication. In essence, innovation feeds back to repeatability, forming a continuous loop and strengthens the entire pyramid. At each layer of our pyramid, we expect different outcomes for the same organizational inputs. Therefore, the type of AI that's applied at each layer must align to the expected outputs and governance requirements for that layer. At the repeatability layer, we expect consistency, predictability, and measurability. For identical inputs, we expect identical or statistically explainable outputs. AI implemented at this layer must conform strictly to defined parameters. Their results must be auditable, testable, and capable of validation. Examples include financial forecasting, inventory restock prediction, and demand planning. CAPEX 1 recommends implementing machine learning and prediction algorithms. Machine learning, a subfield of artificial intelligence, focuses on systems that learn patterns from data in order to make predictions and decisions without being explicitly programmed for every scenario. The strength of ML lies in its reliance on historical data and structured data. Because the output is grounded in measurable inputs, it becomes possible to trace how the model derived its results, test its accuracy, and continuously retrain it. This ensures the AI remains controllable, transparent, and aligned to institutional governance. Technological implementations within this layer follow the following stack. Supervised learning, where algorithms are trained on labeled input and output, data pairs to predict outcomes. Reinforcement learning, where systems learn optimal decisions through trial and error, guided by rewards and penalties from experienced users. Semi-supervised, where the smaller labeled dataset enhances the larger unlabeled datasets. All these approaches are suitable for operational environments where precision, validation, and performance measurements are critical. At the innovation layer, AI serves as a catalyst rather than a controller. Here, the objective is exploration, experimentation, and competitive differentiation. Generative models, simulation environments, optimization engines, and scenario-based modeling tools become strategic assets. The purpose is not to conform to existing processes, but to challenge them. AI at this level helps organizations ask better questions, test unconventional approaches, and accelerate iterative experimentation. However, even at this level, governance remains critical. Innovation without structured repeatability cannot scale. Therefore, once an innovation process proves viable, it must cascade back down the pyramid, becoming intuitive, then eventually becoming repeatable and measurable. This cyclical movement ensures that innovation strengthens the institutional knowledge rather than fragmented. In conclusion, from a CAPEX 1 perspective, the implementation of AI is not about inserting AI randomly into business function. It is about aligning intelligence systems with within the knowledge management pyramid. At the repeatability layer, AI ensures precision and predictability. At the intuition layer, AI ensures contextual understanding. At the innovation layer, AI accelerates experimentation and differentiation. Augmented intelligence, therefore, is not replacement of human capability. It is a structured extension of institutional knowledge. When implemented correctly, it reinforces operational excellence, strengthens decision-making, and fuels sustainable innovation across the organizations.